Oh, see, and then this is also outdated. I need, I need to do math again.
You okay?
I need a new page. Hold on.
Why does your character sheet exist on multiple pages of spiral notebook paper?
No, it wasn't character. This is just because y'all kept getting mad at me for taking too long. I wrote down everything I could do.
I don't think anyone got mad.
So I wouldn't forget anything.
I don't think anyone got mad.
We just loved it, Raph. Like, we loved how you would, Will would say, "Are you done with your turn?" And you'd be like, "Yeah," and then you'd be like, "Oh wait, one more thing."
That's why I written down. Okay, that's why it's written on this piece of paper. But it's incorrect now, so I need to redo it. So don't put us in the combat. I'm begging you. Begging you not to put us in the combat. I don't know what I'm doing.
Were you begging?
Don't make me don't make me attack.
No,
Okay, well, we're going to the keep. You shouldn't be attacking anyone in the keep anyway.
You never have to attack.
No. Hey, hold on. Fuck that. That's a lie.
No, you should do whatever makes you feel comfortable. If you're in a fight and you don't want to attack, then you don't have to attack.
To be fair, you saw me try to be nice last session.
You threatened to rob him.
You were very successful.
Let me help you carry this shit bag of groceries.
But then you said he didn't have to go with you.
Wow, I forgot about that whole interaction.
But you said you didn't want him to come with you after you took it to help him, and he's like, no.
I said
go for it.
He could come with us. Mm-hmm. I just didn't I just didn't want him to see that we were gonna try to get into Mance's place. I was trying to. Hunter was there. Hunter can vouch for Max.
I can. Max handled that perfectly.
Hunter's not a reliable witness.
Nope, absolutely
Thank
not.
you. Happy Pride.
Like Hunter's a pretty reliable witness. Hunter's just also not good at that.
I think that Max was great at diplomacy.
Yeah.
Didn't Hunter roll a 1 on that? Yeah. So
I think
I got a zero.
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it from two people who took 30 sessions to hold hands. I don't want to hear it.
Wow, uncalled for.
Wow. Cruel and unusual punishment.
Was it actually the 30th session? Someone check the notes.
It was not. Dude.
Check
Julia, what session was it? At least in the 20s. Wait, can we all guess? I think it was only. I'm gonna say 15.
Holding hands?
Yeah, well, no, because we didn't hold hands romantically, but we did hold hands when we were in Barrow.
No,
I know, because you stopped Raph and said, "Hey, Raph, did you hear that Hunter is holding Max's hand?"
Interesting.
Yeah, that
See, I don't remember that, but I do remember that.
Doesn't count? That feels pretty good.
Doesn't count. I'm talking romantically.
Platonic hand holding doesn't count. No.
It was closeted hand holding. Okay?
It also
Thank you, Raph.
It didn't count because you were also holding everyone else's hands.
Yeah, that's true.
I just liked holding people's hands. Y'all hands are tiny.
Will was just being a little ship instigator. That's fine.
Me?
Yes.
Doesn't sound like me.
I beg your finest fucking pardon? Do we need to go through this? Because we can, if you would like.
I don't even know what you're talking about. But we should probably do the show.
No, I think you know what? If you want to get started, we can talk. We can have this online. We can do this live if you would like. But go ahead.
Online Discord.
What's
right
up?
now.
That was good.
Well, I don't know. I'm just sitting here innocently trying to run this game. And...
Innocently, that's crazy.
Okay,
that's crazy.
Wow.
Do your little show. I got a rant for you, my guy. Let's go.
Do your little show.
I did forget to skeet about this, so I need to do
What
that
the fuck did you just
Can't forget
say?
to ski. Can't forget to ski.
That's what they're called, yeah.
I also need a roll for everybody.
It's a
We're
ski.
not doing that.
It's a
I thought you
ski,
did
it's a
that
ski.
already.
Yeah,
Right?
wait.
You did do that already, or you just mean the fact that we're live?
You poured all your dice out. It was so loud.
So loud.
Me? No,
Yeah.
I know, but I haven't rolled. The only person I accidentally rolled for was Kira because his dice tumbled out of the big dice and it fell on the floor and it wasn't that one. So I'm so sorry. I cannot change.
I don't think that counts. It was an accident.
It also hit the floor.
It also hit the floor. It doesn't count.
It also hit the floor. Okay. Max got a 16. That's pretty good.
Put
Hunter
the evil on me,
3.
Ricky
Sorry,
Bobby.
babe.
Good luck.
Wayne
Sounds
and
about
Kira. 6. Kira. How do you feel about that? And Wayne
And
got
it's
a
not
4.
a 1. It's not a 1.
And then Kelly.
I
2.
almost put my pill in my coffee.
And
That's
then
fun.
GM dice. 12.
Nice.
He
So
said that
far,
for me.
Max is topping. Can we get that in writing, please?
Yeah, sure.
Jot that
First
down.
time.
Sure.
First time for everything.
First time happening. Sure.
Hi.
Of course, Max Miller would be a power bottom. Wild.
I can neither confirm nor deny.
Topping from the bottom.
Nah, I don't know about that. Max
He's
is
not.
like all of Raph's characters. A quote, ruin his little sub, end quote.
They're just so fun. I said it before and I'll say it again. I love playing a fucking loser, dude. I just love playing a little loser.
And you've literally always said that.
And I literally always said that.
All right. the skeet has been sent.
Also,
and
hold on. Yes, before you get started. Okay, this is separate from the rant, but because that's still happening, and I just need you to know that that's going to happen.
the rant? What are we ranting about?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You'll know. You'll understand. So Kian messaged me yesterday and was like, "I'm sorry that I called Dorian a fuckboy."
And you were like, but they are.
I was like, no, I was like, vindication. Because listen, I was fighting for my life. That conversation, it was rude. That was very rude.
Well, yeah, it is hard to defend a position when you're wrong.
Okay, all right, hold on.
Wow.
We're not doing this again. Listen, we're not doing this again because look here. Did I make a mistake? Yes. Did I have talked to you about it? Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. However, I was not alone in the bullshit. So, like, maybe fuck you.
I mean, we're all I was also alone, but more alone because.
I said I was not alone in the bullshit.
Oh,
is
I
what
see.
I
Okay,
said.
interesting.
Interesting?
Mm.
Interesting?
It is interesting.
Until it burns head ass.
Hey, we're live from the apocalypse. If you've never seen us
so
before, we're an
funny.
not-for-profit TJRPG studio that makes action play content like streams and podcasts to raise money for nonprofits and aid organizations. Welcome to this stream. We're doing class reunion. It's Saturday morning. Hope you got your PJs and your cereal and your coffee. Welcome to our D&D 5e homebrew isekai. About a group of high school students from Ohio who've been trapped in a fantasy world for 10 years. And yeah, hello. We haven't done this in a minute. So, boy, I'm out of practice. But yeah, we're going to play the game. We're going to do the thing at introductions in just a second. We have all been reminded of what happened last time. And yeah, let's go ahead and get into our intros. Are there things that I have to talk about still? We're raising money for medical aid for Palestinians. Mm-hmm. That would be good to mention. That would be probably good to mention. That we just asked if you like what you see here, instead of doing the normal Twitch things of subscribing or giving us bits or interacting with fake cyber currency, you instead take whatever money you can spare. There is no expectation, and give it directly to medical aid for Palestinians instead. And to that end, we have replaced the subscribe button with a donate button. You can click that and do that, and it'll trigger a little alert. Please, things just keep getting worse. If you can give anything, if you want to give anything, please do give some money to Medical Aid for Palestinians. Everything's bad, and it's not even just this one thing that's bad. It's just the one thing that we're still able to do something about in this way at this moment. So please give money to Medical Aid for Palestinians if you can. If not, that is totally fine. I hope you stick around and enjoy our silly little show. Regardless, we can't turn off the subscribe button, the subscribe function. You have to look for it, but if you find it, we can't stop you from doing that. If you have an Amazon Prime subscription, it comes with a free Prime sub, and you got to put it somewhere, and like, we're available. You can do that if you want. Just be aware the beloved Dimension 20 Dungeon Master Brennan Lee Mulligan will kill a dog. He will murder one dog for every month that you are subscribed to this channel. Yeah, don't do that. Maybe don't do that. Maybe just donate to Medical Aid for Palestinians instead. If you got to pick one, that's the one that we would prefer. But with all of that being said and out of the way, we will go ahead and get into our introductions, which means it's the one game where JD goes first.
It is. I remembered this time. Hi, I am JD. My pronouns are he, they, and I'm playing Hunter. Pronouns they, them. They are our ace agender ranger. And they are very good at diplomacy. Just in case you missed last time, I just need you to understand that.
Some might say the best at it, or perhaps second best, because right here on my little screen, Raph is next.
Hello, I'm Raph. And Max would say that Hunter is the best at diplomacy, 100%. I use they, them, or any. Max uses he, him, and Max is your residential barb lock, gay boy, happy pride, ready to kill some billionaires out here, I think is what we're doing. I actually don't really remember. All I know is that Max will never try to help someone ever again, is what I've learned from last session. So that's me. Anyway, also here's my child, because she will run away as soon as I do this.
Pepita, a rare Pepita. Wow.
Anyway.
How'd she smell today?
Let's say I didn't. I held my breath when I just held her up there. Okay, she stinks.
Oh yeah. Hell yeah. I do like, Raph, that you were like, please don't make me roll for combat. And then 5 minutes later, you're like, we're going to kill some billionaires today. Welcome to the game.
If you give me 5 minutes to do the math, I will do it, okay?
Okay.
We need to get Raph a T96 calculator.
It's true.
One that you can program with the formula, so you can hit the button and the formula will come up automatically, and then you just add the new number.
Absolutely. Was it a T97? Was that the name of the calculator?
I honestly don't remember.
Because is the implication then that like the T1000 in Terminator is just a really advanced, like the calculators became, then they just never dropped the naming function?
Fact.
If you are asking me if Texas Instruments is Skynet,
TI-87. Yeah,
it's TI.
Yeah, because they were invented by the rapper. Yes. Okay.
You know what? You're done. You're done.
No, that's fair. That's extremely fair.
Don't give that man nothing.
You're correct. Julia.
Hi, I'm Julia. I use she, they pronouns. Today I'm going to be playing Kelly Violet, aka Lady Violet Blackwing of Stormhold. Kelly to her friends and the Ghost of the Storm to her enemies. She uses she, her pronouns. She is our demisexual / heterosexual on thin ice as far as this game is concerned, where the queers go. She loves one man, and that's it. And the vampire needs to get over it. So, that's Kelly.
Incredible. And Q.
Hi, I'm Q, he, him, playing Kira, the astral self to monk. Jesus Christ. It's been a minute.
It's so early.
It's fine. And I'm drinking coffee actively. Also fighting the urge to rant at will. because he said he's not a ship instigator, which is wild.
We gotta move on. We can't do that the whole stream.
Oh, I think we can, actually.
Save it for break.
Although, I like your mug.
It's a good mug. Somebody got me this mug.
I don't know, somebody cool, probably.
All right, cool.
Said all my things. It's your turn.
Probably, yes. Hello. There we go. Hello, hi. My name is Will. I'm the storyteller for this game. I run it, and I play everyone else. And, yeah, that's it. Just I'm here to have some fun. All of us. Okay. Let's get on into our game, shall we? When last we left off, we all got a little bit of a recap before, but you all had attempted to break into Ardane, the Ardane compound, essentially. The House of Mance Ardane, where you believe Lindsay Ardane, his son, and your friend / footstool, is currently being held against his will. And you discovered upon your investigation that the House Ardane is a little bit more well protected, a little bit more well fortified than you would expect, or perhaps even than it should be. You encountered a maze spell trap. There were lots of guards that you were not able to get past, and you made a strategic retreat. You also saw a mysterious figure standing, looking down at you from one of the windows in the house. And meanwhile, the Council of Calderon, the governing body of the Kingdom of Aloran, as it stands currently, was being called to meet. Your hope and plan was to extract Lindsay Ardane before that meeting took place. But I think we will join our heroes now and see exactly how their plans may be evolving or changing. So, who wants to start? If I remember correctly, Kira and
So
Kira and
again,
Max.
so the four of us were together, and then Kelly was like, "I'm going back to the keep. I need to talk to Mirrodin. I need to get ready for the council meeting."
Yes.
Yeah.
Max refused to let Kelly go by herself.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yes.
So we
Kira
left.
and Hunter. Yeah.
Kira and Hunter stayed there. There have been hours in between.
Yes.
Because it is now nighttime where they are. We left, it was still daytime.
Correct.
Yeah.
Because one of the things I wrote down very specifically is the moon is out, it just doesn't touch Mance's house. It's just like
yeah, why does it do that?
That is weird.
So I distinctly remember it was nighttime for them.
Well, then it seems like the logical place to rejoin our group would be with Kelly and Max on their way back to Calderon Keep. Perfect. So, yeah, the two of you head back across the city of Calderon towards the keep and the upper districts as you go. Yeah, everything feels pretty normal, except there is still an air of tension in the air. There is still that that feeling of don't love saying this. There is that feeling of the military presence in the streets of the city as they prepare for war, which is cool.
You should.
This is so cool.
We're going to prevent that so we can take that
Correct.
out of our fun little fantasy game.
Correct.
Yeah, we love that.
It's been a little while since we played this game. Things have happened.
Which is why we're going to stop this now and take this out.
Correct.
We're going to go back to fighting worms.
All right, cool. So, yeah, so you pass. There is tension in the street. You do see like a lamplighter presence, a military presence, and yeah, as you make your way back across the city to the keep. And what do you want to do when you arrive?
So, if I remember correctly from why I was leaving, it's because I wanted to talk to Mirrodin about who he thought, because he was going to be looking into who he thought on the council was going to be like easily on our side versus who's like the straddlers. And so that, and also make sure Ryan is ready for this. Because he's just recently been made human again, samesies, but also like the fact that we are asking him to become the authority of the kingdom and stop the war.
Is that today?
That's tomorrow. No, that's why we left, because it's tomorrow.
Okay.
The meeting is tomorrow. Yes.
But that's what. Right. Okay. You're right.
That's why Kelly was like, that's why Kelly was like, I cannot stay and watch the Mansardane house. I have to go do this because I'm a member of the council.
I had just blocked the Ryan stuff out of my mind.
You wonder why?
For personal reasons.
So we are. So going back, going back to the castle, and then so like after talking to Mirrodin, probably, and
Julia?
Yeah.
Julia? Vance got her.
That's true. That's a pretty funny freeze frame.
I don't see her anymore.
She don't. Yeah, no, she don't.
I still see her. Hold on.
Fully gone.
It's not. Oh, damn it! I wasn't fast enough. I was literally opening the snipping tool. Oh, damn. Well, Julie will be back.
Fully as soon as.
Let's talk a little bit as a group and figure out. Let's see. So we've got Mirrodin on the council. We've got Marius on the council. We've got Kelly on the council. We've got Mance on the council. We've got Lindsay's boyfriend. What's his name?
We always forget his name. Why do we?
God, what is his name? Wasn't it Leon? Tamberley, right?
Tamberley was his name. Yeah, Tamberley.
Right.
Leon Tamberley.
Leon Tambourine.
Leon Tambourine.
So basically, yes, that was the breakdown,
then
right?
Ryan.
Is that you? Yes. Well, Ryan's not on the council. He's just he's got king's blood. So Leon Tamberley is the head of the council. It's taking Julia longer to get back than I expected. Leon Tamberley is the head of the council, and then you have the rest of them. So you've got Mirrodin, you've got Marius, you've got Tamberley, who you can probably count. I'm sorry, you've got Mirrodin, you've got Tamberley, you've got Kelly, who you can probably count on. Then there's Mance, and there are two other council members who tend to side. Very good, thank you, JD. Who tend to side with Mance, and
Marius
is kind of an X factor. Is the sort of issue here. You know how Mance is going to vote, and then you've got Councilman Gale and Councilman Miskin.
Miskin,
yes.
Miskin. I don't like him.
I've decided I hate that, actually.
I decided I don't like him, actually.
That's extremely valid. He is one of the ones that normally sides with Mance. So, so yeah, you have those. You can count on Mirrodin, Kelly, and Tamberley. Marius is a little bit of an X factor, but I believe Kelly was able to secure Marius's promise of a vote. But that's going to be tricky. Julia doesn't make it back into the call.
I know.
Oh boy.
Here's my question. Are there any other straddlers, or is it just Marius?
I mean, that's pretty much it. There are 7 people on the council. And I've always said that.
Yeah.
What? Sorry, I'm looking at the thing that Julia posted. I've never seen this before.
They're doing it just fighting today.
Yeah, that's so weird. Okay, I'm gonna try to make the backup link work. Though I don't know if that will get Julia. Ugh, I hate this. I'm gonna just tell her to try restarting the computer. Okay. Well,
Anyway.
I think we should probably take 5.
Yes.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Yeah, we'll be back. Sorry about the tech issues, everybody. Oh, I get it. It feels weird to be doing it during the daylight hours also, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
What? This game?
Yeah, well, just streaming, playing game, like looking at a monitor in general, it always feels weird to me to do it this early in the morning.
Haven't we been doing this for over a year?
Maybe.
Yes.
I don't know. How long have you been in the UK?
For a year and a half?
Okay, well then, yeah, that's how long we've been doing it. It still feels weird. But to be fair, that year and a half, we've played, what, 6 times?
It's been a couple.
No, fair
It's
enough.
been a couple.
It's been a couple. Okay, let's get
Anyway.
back. Hi, hello everyone. We're all here again.
I apologize for my demons.
Anyway.
Never apologize for your demons.
They should be the ones apologizing.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Okay, so what we were talking about while Julie was gone, the current situation as it stands as far as Kelly and Max are concerned is you have the Council of Calderon, which is made up of 7 members. You have Mirrodin, you have Kelly, you have the head of the council, Leon Tamberley, then you have Mansar Dane, and then you have Councilman Gale and Councilman Miskin, and also Marius. Of those, you established that obviously Mirrodin, Kelly, and Tamberley were going to back the no war clause, essentially. You secured Marius's promise that he would also vote against the war in exchange for a favor. What are you shaking your head?
No. He voted for the war. He voted for what did
Yeah, I voted for Kelly.
he voted for me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. All right. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. That's what it
But
was.
he
right.
did
So
he did vote
backed
for the
you
because that
being-
was yeah,
right,
because
he
that
backed
was
you
the
being
conversation that was the conversation we had where he was like he said there is something in it for me
Right.
if we go to war.
Oh,
Right.
that's right.
And that's when Kelly told him then this is probably the last like
Deal
private
you
conversation. Yeah,
Yes.
like
Yeah.
because that's when
correct.
Kelly was still dead.
Right. Okay, cool. Thank you for refreshing my memory. Okay, so
Yeah.
then the issue as it stands, backing as far as like de-escalating, and since they're not going to de-escalate, you're trying to get Ryan on the throne because Ryan has the king's blood. You can count on Mirrodin, Kelly, and Tamberley to back that, obviously.
Yeah.
You are positive Mance, Gale, and Miskin are going to be against it. Marius is, as always, kind of an X factor, just an agent of chaos. You never really know what Marius is going to do. But he did work very hard to find himself on the Council of Calderon, and reestablishing a king would drastically decrease the amount of power that the council has.
Yeah.
So,
And also
So basically, Kelly has to convince people otherwise.
I have to convince probably Marius, Gale, or Miskin.
as it stands, it is 4-3.
Yeah.
Do they have
Against.
family?
We're
Hey,
not
yo.
threatening family. Hello.
Yo.
Wild
Do
question.
Gale and Miskin have family?
Oh, I think that is the thing.
Basically.
Most
They don't have family, and they are roommates.
Oh, their roommates have a
Damn.
problem.
Oh, okay. The lore.
Is it tan gay?
No. They're just roommates.
No, son gay.
They're just fully like.
Ellos son gays.
their roommates like Dot and Shauna were roommates.
Mhm.
Oh my God.
Yeah, well, it's like
Okay.
like mug up roommates. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no,
Correct,
roommates,
pinky
yeah.
out,
Yeah.
eyebrow up.
Roommates. Incredible.
So
Okay.
I gotta go talk. It's Marius. I gotta go.
I heard.
talk to
Okay.
Marius.
Okay. So as we're walking up, I think Max would just. I'm assuming we're walking in silence as Kelly is just like chugging along in her head.
Probably. You did ask. Mirden did say that he was going to look and see, like, if there was anything that could be done about it.
Right. Okay.
Like he was
I
gonna.
think.
Sorry.
I think Max is just going to turn to you, Kelly, and say, I came here to help you in anything that you need. And I know that even though you're really strong, this is still dealing with potentially dangerous people, or at least people who want to be dangerous and have too much power about it. So, what do you want me to do? Because I can just pulls out Gallows. I can talk to people.
I've seen how you talk to people.
That guy misunderstood what I was trying to say to him, okay? I truly did just want to help him carry. It's fine. But you tell me what you need me to do, and I'll do it.
I'm probably going to have to make a deal of some kind with Marius.
Okay.
He and I didn't exactly. I wasn't happy with him the last time we spoke, and he knew that. He, similar to Tamberley, he's not old guard on the council. He had to fight to get onto the council, but similarly to Mance, he kind of, I don't want to say paid his way onto there, but the fact that he was now in control of one of the only real centers of industry in the kingdom did kind of open that door to him. So
yeah.
What he's going to ask of me is probably going to be very personal. I'm going to need you to not question me on it.
I trust you.
You're going to have to make sure that reads to Marius. Because if he doesn't believe that you think I can fulfill whatever he asks, he's not going to do it. If you you're going to have to back me. Not just trust me, you're going to have to support me in whatever I agree to do. Even if it's horrible.
I have a fair share of tally marks in things that I've done that are horrible. So what's another one, especially if it's to help you? Whatever he says, whatever he wants, if you agree to it, then I have your back. And I'm sure that Kira and Hunter do too. But is there any other way? I will 100% have your back. But do you have to put yourself in that situation to begin with? Can we talk to, I don't know, someone else on the council?
Gale and Miskin. Gale and Miskin. Here's the thing.
Nasty.
We could try to talk to them. All right, Max. Well, first off, that's not going to help.
It's something about his name, and I don't know why. He just slimy. Anyway.
Well, that's not going to help a case. But anyway.
I can control myself.
We have a limited amount of time, and we need at minimum 1 vote. Miskin and Gale, we would be starting in the negative with.
Mm-hmm.
It would be a lot more to try to convince. And they've had Mance poisoning them against me this whole time.
What do they get from Mance? Money?
I'm not going to speculate what they get from Mance, but they do get the war. And as we have established, there is some profit in war. But also they have power. They have longstanding power on the council. They were a member of the council before the incident.
Question above the table. Do Kelly and Max know about the connection between the Dreamer and Mance yet? Or at all?
What do you mean? The fact that there's something at his house, or just at all? Because Kelly has brought that up before, that there is a connection because of the dust.
Him having sand on.
He had sand on him. That's why he was attacked by.
Yes, by
his name is escaping me. Big T.
The Huntsman.
The Huntsman. That's why.
Yes.
That's why he was attacked by the Huntsman. His arm was eaten. That's why the Huntsman was attacking all of those people. And then all the people who were found with sand or were high off of sand, then during the night when everything happened, demons burst out of their chests.
What a fun little world we've made.
Yeah. Yeah, but Kelly,
so much fun.
way back when Wayne was still here, Kelly, Wayne, and Mirrodin had already had that conversation of Mance could be working with the Dreamer, and he might know it or he might not know it.
Okay.
And that's why. Yeah. So we have established that could be possible because of the sand.
A possibility. Okay.
Yeah, because of the sand, because he didn't turn into a demon, but he was exposed to the sand,
which means he might be potentially a useful pawn at the moment.
Correct.
Okay.
We weren't sure if he was like Simon and actively working for the Dreamer, or if he was just influenced by the sand, which Simon produced or gave or distributed.
Right.
So there is a connection there. We have no Mance himself has never said haha.
Right. Exactly. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Unbeknownst to us right now, there is apparently worms at his house, which is a good sign, but the two of us don't know that.
We don't know that, yeah. And we have no connection to them. Great, okay. Yeah. I think then Max, probably after a little moment of silence, also says, I could try to ask about the connection with Mance and the Dreamer. We have someone who likes to answer questions sometimes. If you think it would be helpful. Bless you.
If you can get in touch with him before tonight, do it.
Okay. I'll try.
We might still get Gale and Miskin in the end, Max. There's still the council actually has to make its arguments. We might still get them, but we need Marius for sure. And if you can find anything that we can present at the council meeting against Mance, then we need it. So.
And this is all to put Ryan on the throne. So
Ryan,
what, I mean, what is that guy gonna do?
We can't.
What is his argument?
We can't stop the war. We voted on it. We don't have the votes to stop the war.
No, I know.
Ryan can supersede that as the king.
All I'm saying is, what does he bring to the table? Is he going to be there tomorrow?
That's part of what we're going to make sure of.
Okay.
He does owe me. Don't forget. I did turn him human again at the risk of my own life. So
yeah.
He's nothing if not guiltable.
I'm not worried about him doing what you need him to do. It's just convincing the rest of the council that he's a good choice. He's not very likable, is what I mean. That's what I'm trying to say.
Max, you forget that the whole time we were just in the country, this is where Ryan was. Ryan was in the capital the whole time, remember? They know him here.
Yeah, in the library.
You saw him in the library once. That doesn't mean that's where he spent 10 years, Max.
I don't know.
I exactly, you don't know. That's what I'm telling you. You don't know what Ryan did. Except that we do know that Ryan was respected here. He was in a position of trust here.
All right, then I won't worry about him. I'll go to the house and see if I can talk to Simon.
All right. Be safe. And be back here by evening.
I put my hand on Kelly's shoulder. I give it a little squeeze.
Kelly reaches up to put her
her
hand on the opposite shoulder.
You too.
Okay.
Walk away.
Good moment.
I walk to Peregrine House.
Okay. Okay, so Max is going to Peregrine House. Kelly, where are you going? Or do you have a plan, or are you just basically waiting to hear back from one of the other 3 members of your party?
No, so Kelly is going to go to make sure that Ryan is still in the keep, make sure nothing's happened to Ryan in the time that we've been gone, and then I'm going to go try to talk to Marius. If Mirrodin is easily accessible, because I never know what the fuck he's doing, I'll have a quick chat with him. I will probably... Actually, no, I do want to talk to Mirrodin because I want to fill him in on what we found as far as, like, how hardcore locked down Mance's estate is. And also let him know where Max is going.
Okay, cool.
So that first, make sure Ryan is still in his room. Lock down Marius.
Okay. I think that makes a lot of sense. I imagine the first place you would look for Mirrodin would be in his office, or in his study. So when you approach, I think you can actually hear raised voices on the other side of the door.
I'm gonna listen in.
Yeah, roll a investigation check.
17.
All right. Yeah, 17 is enough. I think you can distinguish the voices, although it's kind of hard to make out what it is they're arguing about. It depends on how long you're willing to stand there and listen, but you hear two voices. One is obviously Mirden, the other one you recognize as Ryan's.
Oh, I'm going on in.
Okay. Yeah, that's kind of what I figured.
I'm like, hello.
So you walk in, you open the door, and you step into the office, and they kind of stop arguing, but you could tell there's still tension in the room. It's not like they were fighting necessarily, but they were definitely like sort of, disagreeing with each other, and they're sort of like standing at opposite ends of the room. As you open the door, Mirden kind of like shrugs his shoulders in like a gesture of frustration and like turns and like walks away a couple steps exasperatedly. Are you saying anything?
If nobody says anything after like a beat, Kelly will just like step in and close the door and say, well, good news, questionable news.
You're saying there is questionable news, or?
I'm asking them.
Yeah, okay. Mirden turns to look at you and says, it's not going to work.
Why?
Because we don't have the votes. Because we can't get the votes. They aren't going, the four of them aren't going to budge. Marius was the one with potential to sway. And it benefits him not at all to surrender his power to a king. He could be pliable about any number of other things. That's the entire reason that he's on the council, is so that he can make deals and accept bribes. The one thing that it wouldn't make sense for him to cut a deal on is giving up his power.
No, we can't write him off yet.
I don't see a way that this works, Kelly. And Ryan speaks up and says, we just have to talk to them. We just have to make our case. They will listen. To me, to Kelly. We just have to convince them. And that, like, you can see now the nature of their argument because Mirden like points at him and is like, that naivete is going to make us fail even faster. You think people change their minds because they hear a stirring speech? You think that's the way that governing bodies, political bodies, accomplish anything? No. They make deals in the shadows. They offer each other things under the table. That's how people change their minds. Exchange. Ryan says, I don't believe that. And Mirden looks at you like, do you see what I have to deal with? Do you see what I am dealing with?
Kelly just like looks between them and she says, the middle ground is there, and regardless, we're going to try. I don't care if you think we will lose. If we lose, we lose. We're going to still try. I didn't almost rip myself atom by atom apart for us to give up because it's hard. You are hundreds of thousands of years old. This is where you've gotten tired.
Yes. Kelly, yes. I am tired.
Well, then let us do our jobs.
If you walk in there with a pretty speech and rely on them to do the right thing, they're going to disappoint you, and we are going to lose our chance.
And what are you suggesting? A coup?
I don't know.
Well, then, until you have a suggestion, I don't want to hear it.
I keep turning the ideas over and over in my head. And even if some kind of, God forbid, horrible accident were to befall Mansardane or one of the other three, and they lose their spot, the laws clearly state that their seats have to be filled before we can vote on any council business. So at the best, we buy ourselves more time. We delay the inevitable, but we don't have that time.
Okay, so they want to make a deal? Then look at what the terms of the deal are. We want to put a king on the throne? Look at what we can promise the council that they will get to keep. Make a deal.
And that's what I'm trying to tell you is I've looked into it. I've had conversations behind the scenes. And I could make a deal, we could make a deal on any number of topics. There's not much that they're not pliable on. Except for this. Except for giving up their power.
Then we don't put him above the council. We put him on it.
There are 7 seats on the council.
And you're tired.
It's not a bad plan B, but it doesn't fix the problem. Again, it is a stopgap measure. You still won't have the votes to stop anything.
The fact that he has king's blood will have more of an influence subconsciously, I think, than you think it won't. Putting him on the council still will give him some kind of interest to the people of this kingdom. They'll want to hear what he has to say. That history exists. They're not going to ignore it totally. And Gale and Miskin are the only 2 original members of this council, correct? Besides Tamberley.
Yes. I mean,
Ryan was here.
Is young.
Ryan was here for 10 years. Ryan, are you saying you've never spoken before this council? Are you saying that they don't know you, they don't trust you? If you are afraid that they will refuse to accept a king, then don't make him a king. Just tell them about the authority he could have as a king, but he would rather stay here on the council.
This only works if he's the king. That is my point. We vote. The council votes. You are still outnumbered, even if Ryan takes my spot.
Even if Ryan takes your spot, he could have more influence over Gale and Miskin on a vote about the war because of his history with them than we would have on voting him king. Ryan has a history that we don't have with these people. And I still have to deal with Marius. But if you are afraid that we will hit a roll, if you think we will have no chance at making him a king, then we have to go back to voting about the war. And I think we only have a chance there if we put him on the council, we press the fact that he does have king's blood, but he doesn't want to subjugate. He wants to keep things equal. He wants to keep this a choice that everyone has. And then he presses on that familiarity with Gale and Miskin. They've known him.
They have known him for 10 years, yes. I saved this entire world 100 years ago. They tell folk tales and legends about me. If you think that he is going to have more sway, I think you are putting even more faith in that than the endearing plea plan. Look,
I think you misunderstand. People, you saved all these people. You've done huge, astounding things. And then in the day-to-day life of these people, where have you been? You are overestimating how important it is to have someone who you know. You're a mythical figure. Of course they're going to doubt your myths.
look, at the end of the day, this is your plan. At the end of the day, I would do what you think is best. If you can flip Marius somehow, miraculously, that still only gives us a tie. But if you honestly believe that saying anything you can say, anything he can say to them will change any of their minds,
Marius would be 4, right?
Marius would, sorry, let me think. Tamberly, Kelly,
Mirrodin.
Yes.
Or Ryan,
Yes,
whoever is
you're
in
right.
that spot.
Yeah. You're right. If you can flip Marius, then you'd have enough votes. If by some miracle you can convince him to make a deal with you to muzzle himself and his power, then that would be what you need. I mean, you have a history. I'm not discounting it. Barring that, I just don't know. I am tired, and I am cynical.
When we present Brian tomorrow, and we tell them about his family, about his bloodline, you will step down and you will give him your seat. And this will remain a council matter on how we vote for the war. And then if at the end of the day we don't have the votes, then we go to war. We will just have to make sure we're at the front of it.
He nods slowly. Very well. Very well. But Kelly, what do you think Marius is going to ask for? And are you prepared to give it?
Well, I don't know how he's going to react to the change. Potentially that could put him on the back foot, make him ask for something less drastic than he might normally ask for, but whatever he's asking for, short of me taking someone's life, there's a high possibility I'll do it. But he doesn't need me to take lives, so I doubt that's what he'll want.
I agree. I don't think that's what he wants. Very well. I leave it to you.
Kelly's gonna nod. I'm just gonna look over at Ryan to see if he's following along with this plan. How's he doing?
He's looking back and forth between the two of you, but there's just sort of this, like, it's not a serene expression exactly. Like, he looks sad that there is this much strife, that there's this much tension between, over him, essentially. But he, he looks at you and he sort of like shrugs his shoulders, seeing you look at him, and says, I mean, I never wanted to be a king.
We're not accustomed to kings where we're from anyway, so.
Maybe this will be best, but Kelly, the council votes on new members when a seat opens up. Mirden can abdicate. You can suggest me, but it's still going to come down to a vote. And again, if you can get Marius on board, you'd have presumably 3-4-3 against.
I want you to think about what you knew about Gale and Miskin from before. Who they were. How they were with you, with Moldus. To find something you can appeal to when that time comes.
He sort of nods, and Mirden touches his face, his own face, and says, we will find something, the two of us. You try to convince a vampire to vote against his own self-interests.
She doesn't do that. She does not throw up the no. But she does nod and heads off down to the to where the Barrow contingent is making their home.
Okay.
Well, are they still in the castle,
wing.
or have they moved to their house? They're still in the castle, right?
They are still in their own wing of the keep. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Then I will make my way downtown.
Mirden is like, you need 2 votes. And Kelly's like, like, no, 2 votes. Incredible. Um, cool. You are going to go find Mars. You're going to go speak to the dead, quite literally. But Max Miller across town was heading to Peregrine.
What do you
House.
want?
Okay, never mind.
Jesus.
Grumpy. I know it's early, but
5:30. Go over me.
it's 5 o'clock somewhere. You were going to Peregrine House. You were going to go down to the basement to try to talk to Simon, your old pal.
My old war
Your
buddy.
old buddy, roommate, Simon.
My old roommate, Simon.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Cool. What are you saying? So I assume you're going back down to the basement to that room, that sort of like cell where he was being kept that one time.
Yeah. I think it's wherever we spoke. I think that's.
It is.
I think that's where we spoke last.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's where we spoke last time. So I'll just go. I don't know where else to go, so I'll just go down there.
Okay. And how are you calling out to him?
I think there's a moment where Max is walking around in that basement, and I think maybe even before he goes down, he's like on the stairway and he hesitates, not because he's unsure about proceeding, but I think there's just still, it still hurts. And he didn't have time when he left Kelly's side to actually think about what he was doing until he's standing on those stairs, going down to the basement. And then he just takes a breath and enters. I think he walks around for a while, just kind of like feeling the walls and whatever leftover furniture is here. And at some point he just shakes his head and says, just out into the air, I don't know how to do this. I don't know. Do Ouija boards exist here? Do I need to write your name in the dirt? And then he's like, actually. And then he bends down and starts like writing. Just gets like a stick.
So you are walking through the basement hallway towards that like room, that stone room where you spoke last time, and you're kind of saying this as you go, and then as you reach the doorway of the room and you look inside, there is already a figure standing there, and they back to
is it
you.
Miskin?
Yeah, it's Miskin. It's Councilman Miskin. You turn around and give you a little smile, and you see that you are face to face with Simon, or at least perhaps another facsimile of Simon.
Yeah, I think again there's that like slight hesitation as he gets to the door. But he tries really hard not to show it. It's almost like he goes to push it, pauses, and then pushes it open. And he looks at his old friend and just It just says, I'm glad you made it pretty easy this time, so that's good. I was thinking, I was collecting some sticks. I was gonna, I don't know, try to draw out. Do you know what a Ouija board is? It's like this thing you write out letters. I don't know. I guess you're not really a ghost, but I don't know. This is easier.
I just want to help you, Max.
Right. Is there like a chair? Like, is there like a table?
Yeah,
okay, cool.
There could be like a single chair in this room.
Yeah, I think Max sees Simon standing and actively walks over to the chair at the table and takes a seat. Just leans on the table and looks up at Simon. And sighs. You want to help. And that's why I'm here. I'm just going to cut to it, to be honest. Do you know anything about Mance Ardain? Beyond the fact that he's skeevy and used to own a team, a Gritsky team, and that he's a member of the council and that he sucks. Other than that, specifically, well, let's start with there.
What are you planning to do with that information, Max?
Well, there's a council meeting tomorrow, and I just want to get some information on him beforehand. I'm not allowed to use my weapons in there. So information is the next best thing.
And is that really what you want?
What do you mean? It
doesn't sound like you, does it?
It doesn't sound like me to
not
learn,
use your weapons.
Not use, yeah. Well, I'm trying.
Trying what? Exactly. Trying to deny yourself? Trying to be someone that you're not?
It's not about being someone I'm not. I'm trying to, I don't know, grow. I'm trying to be there for my friends. It doesn't really help if I go about swinging steel.
Wow.
Helps my ego maybe, but
in this
I
case,
do look cool doing it.
in this case, it sounds like it would make all the difference. I mean, Mansardane is an obstacle, a problem, a threat. And instead of taking care of it, you are standing by and doing nothing.
I'm not standing by and doing nothing. Believe me, if I could swing on that just bug, then I would. And I kind of tried. His house has just locked up for some reason. We couldn't get in. And, you know, if he wants to try to fight me, then he can try to fight me, and he will lose.
But that's a different story than what you told me. I mean, you said you just wanted information that you could use against him in the council meeting. Now you're talking about going to his house.
Well, he has a son. And
He does.
We think that his son was kidnapped by
He was?
him. He was?
He was?
You know that for sure?
I know a great many things, Max, and I'm happy to tell you all of them, but what I'm more concerned with is you, because there is a difference between growth and change.
Change can be good too. You've changed.
Do you want to change? Or do they make you feel like you have to? Do they make you feel like what you are is wrong and bad? Because I knew you, Max Miller. I loved you long before any of that.
And who I was back then was a changed version of who I had been before. And when I left, I changed. And when I found them again, I changed. And now that I'm here, I've changed. I don't think anyone is forcing me to do anything.
Not forcing you, perhaps, but maybe not accepting you for all that you are.
And what am I? Since you know.
You're just Max, with all the things that come with that. All of the...
And why does what I am now not come with that?
If you were becoming the person that you want to be for you, then I understand. But if it's because you feel like you have to, because it's easier for them, because they will love you more for it, I'm simply saying I would never ask that of you.
And this is why we're here. You never asked me to be better.
Maybe I never asked you to be better because you were already your best.
You like to say a lot of nice things about me, which is, you know, nice to hear. But it's not really what I came here for.
and I will tell you everything you want to know. I will answer all of your questions. To the
Is
best of
Mance
my
working
ability.
with the dreamer?
Yes,
Does he know?
he does.
How do I prove that?
That is trickier. I suppose it depends what approach you're planning to take. If you're going to his house, breaking in to rescue his son, I don't think you'll have to do much at all. He will reveal himself, and then I expect that you and your compatriots will kill him. If you're trying to get him to reveal himself in front of the Council of Calderon, I'm not certain that's possible. I don't imagine that he would.
Is he full of worms?
Maybe not full. No, as a matter of fact, he is a different type of... His pledge is different.
Does he have some sort of contract?
He made a deal.
Would you say that? Would you be a witness to that?
Well, I don't think anyone is going to value my word.
And why not?
And I'm not even really here. I think you should kill him, Max.
That doesn't help my situation.
Doesn't it? He dies,
just-
Lindsay goes free,
It's not
and
really
he pays
guaranteed.
for everything that he has done to you.
Believe me, I'm going to get my revenge on Mance. Just not today.
I suppose that's up to you.
I can't just live for every whim that I have. Trying to be smart about things. And right now, that smart thing is trying to prove to the council that Mance Ordain works for the Dreamer. So are you going to help me with that? Do you have the answer to that?
I've given you the information. I've told you the truth. What you do with it now, that's out of my control.
Is there some sort of trigger? Like last time when people exploded into worms. Does he have something that brings out the worms in him? Even if they're not really worms.
As I said, he is something different. The nature of his contract is different.
What is he?
That's hard to explain. He serves the Dreamer. He's been empowered by the Dreamer. But he hasn't been altered physically.
And what are you?
Me?
Yeah.
sand and dust and dirt, given form.
You know what I mean.
I suppose I do. These days, I am much closer to the dreamer than anyone you've yet to encounter. I suppose you could say that I'm at the eye of the storm.
Are you happy there?
Not yet.
Hmm.
I fear that I won't be until you join me.
You ask me not to change. You ask me to join you. You ask me to abandon my friends and live for my whims. You ask a lot of things from me, Simon.
Only at the end. Only at the end of all things. When this world is coming apart at the seams. When everything is being unmade and unraveling. When I reach out to take your hand and bring you into safety with me. I only ask that you take it.
I'll already be holding someone else's.
Well, there's still time. And after all, when you strip everything else away, all of the layers and the pretty words like love, courage, and justice, all we really want is to survive.
Yeah. I mean, I do agree with that. But I don't plan on surviving on my own.
Of course not. We'll be together. In the meantime, I think you should kill Mansardane. He's not our only iron in the fire, so to speak.
And if I did, would you replace him on the council with another one of his friends?
No. We are far, far past the stage of the Council of Calderon mattering, or the throne of Aloran for that matter, or the machinations of the Danan and their little war.
I thought you all wanted this war. I thought this would serve you.
It might make a few things easier, but the wheels are already rolling.
And how much time do we have?
Now that part is up to you. But I know you want to save your friend. And I'm telling you that killing Mansardane will have no effect one way or another.
I'll think about it.
You know where he is. And you know where I am. I'm happy to help.
Thank you.
Very, very welcome.
I think Max gets up and just goes to the door.
Yeah. You hear that same like sort of swirl of dust and dirt and stuff, debris, and then
Can I try to catch some?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. You end up with a handful of sand.
Hmm.
Yeah. You had something you want to say, Q? Couldn't help but notice you're holding your mic up.
Why?
I might need you to be more specific before I could answer that question. I don't know.
I won't.
Okay. Well. Dang.
Yeah. Anyway, I think I think fist full of sand. I think Max pockets it.
Okay. So then a part of Simon will always be with you. That makes sense.
Pull it out and be like, listen here, you little bitch.
Yeah.
Let me fucking be a good person.
Yeah, I think he just gently puts it in his pocket.
Okay.
I
Very
think
cool.
like his inner shirt pocket or something. It's not just like
Okay.
random sand in his
Absolutely.
pants.
So not in the jerky pocket.
Not in the jerky pocket. Actually,
No,
it was
nobody
about to go
wants-
in there, and I'm just like, shit.
Nobody wants sandy.
Meat
sandy
pocket,
jerky.
meat pocket, meat pocket. The
Yeah.
non-meat pocket. And yeah, goes back to meet Kelly.
Okay. Very, very cool. Q, I couldn't help but notice you're still holding your microphone up near your mouth,
Yeah.
and I'm not sure if you need
Yeah.
to say more or.
Why?
Okay, interesting. So that's the same question you asked before, and I still don't have more information to go off of. So
The question went unanswered. So
right, but like I would need you to be more specific. Like why
I don't think
did
I
this
need to.
conversation happen? That would
Is it
because
why?
Max-
Is it why I grabbed the sand? Why
Is
I
that
have so
why?
many meat pockets?
literally answer any of those questions. Any of
Well,
those.
I think it as to answer your question,
Mhm.
which is I won't.
Okay.
I think as Max walks out after he pockets the sand, he does
Why?
pull out Gallows, and I think he just like walks and just like almost like unconsciously swings it at his side, as he walks back to the keep. Does that answer your question?
Why you always on some buck shit? Either of you can answer that, actually.
I did nothing wrong. I don't know what
I'm
you're
just
talking about.
responding to the choices that you guys make as the players. So I think that this is really more
I
of
think you should kill Man Sardane.
Listen,
Are we so for real right now? You
we
know
all
what?
think that.
We
all
all
think
think that.
Max has been saying for a
We
while
keep those as
now.
our inside thoughts, though.
listen, we
Cool.
all
Correct.
think
You
we should
have.
do it. However, killing him in front of the council, bad. Killing him right before an important council meeting, suspicious. We're trying to get things done.
But he's not wrong.
Yeah, he's not
We
wrong.
could just kill him.
Yeah.
You could kill him.
I'm on board with it. But it's the fact that Simon's on some buck shit and just casually going. Also, let Cure find out that you went to him again.
That's okay. That's okay. You can blame Kelly for that one because Kelly whole ass went. Kelly whole ass went. If I have to go talk to this toxic man, you have to go talk to your toxic
I
man.
know. I saw when you posted that. And I get it, but also why? See,
Here's what you have to
we're back
remember.
to that. Actually,
Here's what you have to remember that we
I'm
have only
listening.
addressed briefly in passing. The relationship that Kelly and Max have together is very specifically sibling, step sibling animosity.
Yes.
Yeah.
Step sibling animosity, which means we have a bond. We will do things for each other. It's
We're
very
tight.
much, I can say that about him, you can't say that about him.
Right.
But also that
Yeah.
means sometimes
It's a little toxic. Sometimes it's just a little bit bad.
it's a little toxic. And when I
Mhm.
have to do something I don't want to do, if I can also make Max do something Max doesn't want to do, then you know what? Kelly feels a little bit better about it. That's
Max
the relationship
volunteered.
Kelly and Max have. If you look back, it's always right there where we're just like, we aren't going to fight. We're not going to physically fight.
You see his face?
We
Yeah.
are
this
just going to
face?
make things worse for him.
You see this face?
Yeah.
Okay.
Listen, I know.
I think they might just stay here. I hope that's okay. I hope I'm not too loud.
Listen,
Yeah,
if you want to
that's fine.
chime in at
Stay
any time,
unmuted.
you're welcome.
If you
On
cue
that note,
commentary,
I think we should probably take a break though. We should probably get in a break real quick while we still have
A little
the option.
director's cut.
Yeah, a little bit of a break, and then we'll
Will
come
has to
back
go from
and,
being one
and-
toxic man to a different toxic man. Now he's got to think about it.
It's true.
That's
Got to
true.
think
I
about
just
what he's
gotta-
done. Yeah.
I get it right in my head.
Mhm.
All right. Well, we'll be
Make sure you're
back
using
in,
the right
in about 10
fucking
minutes.
voice.
Don't go away.
Right.
See you real soon.
It is
there a
not.
reason you ask?
It is not something you want to gamble with. I am telling you, it is one of the worst I have ever felt.
Raph.
in my
like
life.
wasting
Yeah.
things.
Or
Raph, yeah, no, just don't. Just say no.
What about
Pour it out, beloved.
fish? Room temperature?
Alright,
4
we're back on-
hours
We're back
on the
stream.
counter.
Hey, gang. How's it going?
4 hours
How's
on the
it
counter is
going?
fine.
4 hours is fine, you think?
4 hours on the counter is fine for red wine. Yeah.
4 hours on the
okay.
counter
No,
is
I'm
different.
talking
I'm
about-
talking about a bottle that was like bad.
Yeah.
The bottle
Huh?
had gone. The bottle had gone bad.
Huh?
And then
No, I'm not talking about 4 hours. I'm talking about like a week.
No, absolutely not.
just open air exposed? No.
It's got a little top. It's got a little top. She's topped.
At least there's one top in that household.
Hey, wait. It's not the wine.
Don't do it.
Yeah, probably don't do that.
I am telling you genuinely not to be funny. That is the worst I've ever felt in my life,
All right.
physically.
Okay. Oh,
But
you're
then
for
again-
cooking.
No, Will.
No.
Hey, Will.
Do you know what you start throwing up when your stomach is already empty and there's nothing to throw up?
Well, I guess my thing is that since it happened to Julia once, we have a control. And so
No. No,
It's
we're not
true.
doing
This
this.
is
the
for
scientific
science.
We're not.
method
This is
teaches
not for
us-
science. You
You know what
stick
you're
with
s-
ass.
If
No,
we-
stop it.
If
No,
we set
stop
a
it.
hypothesis,
No, stop
if
it.
we follow the scientific method.
You know what? You know what? You do you, actually. You're in a whole other country. What can I do? Fucking-
yeah, you've got socialized healthcare. If you get sick,
Yeah,
you're
if you
fine.
just go to the doctor in 6
Yeah,
months, it's fine.
that part.
I mean, it's good all over. Woohoo.
Anyway,
Anyway, great. Yeah. All right. So we are gonna cut back, and I think I'm torn. That's all. But I do think that since it is nighttime when Kira and Hunter tried to raid the ordained compound.
Whoa,
No,
We were not
no,
trying
no.
to raid it.
We
We
were
were watching
We
it.
were sitting
Hold the
there being
absolute
casual.
fuck on. You were casually observing.
You were trying to
Yeah,
rewrite
that-
history here.
You definitely bolted across the grounds.
That was in the
earlier.
That was in the
before.
daytime when we were all together.
That was
Kelly was there.
daytime.
This
Kelly-
is nighttime now. They're just
Sure.
spying.
No, I get that. I get
Uh-huh.
that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Do you?
sure.
Because I
Do
feel
you?
like
Yeah.
this is revisionist history.
Well, I guess in my mind it makes more sense that you would have waited for it to be dark before you tried to run across the lawn.
No, I was just trying to be fast.
I'm
Yeah.
trying to be fast as fuck.
Trying to be fast, right?
Fast as fuck,
Gotta
boy.
go.
Gotta go fast.
Gotta
Exactly.
go fast.
Exactly.
That's such a good mug.
Oh,
It's a great mug.
I saw it. I was like, oh, that's
So
oh,
good.
that's on. It's on, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were trying to do it in the daytime because Kira was trying to quicksilver it.
Yeah. So let's
Right.
go.
Let's
Right.
fucking go.
Fast as fuck, boy.
That's fuck, boy. Want to see real speed? I can't say the rest of it on stream.
Okay, cool. So then, yeah, I think in that case, we kind of have to. My hands are tied, gang. We kind of have to talk to the vampire.
Okay.
You sound excited about this.
I'm just worried about your mental health having to be 2 toxic men in a row.
Yeah. I'll be all right.
Okay.
I'll survive.
Simon was barely toxic.
I've
He
always
was just,
said that.
he was basically
You should kill
reading
Man Sardane.
Max's
That's not
mind.
toxic. That's the popular opinion.
No,
That's
no,
the
no.
popular opinion,
Not
except we
from
are
Simon.
trying.
Simon is chat. Simon is chat.
Listen.
Simon is chat.
We're
Chat, you're
trying
Simon
not
now.
to do a coup. We're trying to do it the right.
That's not
way.
a coup.
Yeah.
That's
Killing-
not
Hey, your friends, are they actually helping you? I
Listen, I
wasn't.
disagreed with
I
that.
wasn't done. I wasn't done. Or you might have disagreed with it, but it still came out of his fucking mouth. So I don't want to. You know what? I'm sorry. It's not right. It's not me right now.
But that's what X's are for. X's are there to question whether your friends are actually good for you or not.
You're muted, bud.
You're so muted. That's why X's exist, to tell you when you should question whether your friends have your best interests at heart. So cool. Kelly, you head towards the wing where the Barrow contingent has been living, if you can call it living. For
Hanging out, socializing.
hanging out for the past couple of months. Yeah, you find them. Remember that there's kind of this like study. I guess it's not exactly a study. It's more like a parlor where there was like that long table in the fireplace where you and Marius had that one late night conversation. But you're kind of on a mission. So are you going directly to Marius's office? Quarters? It's probably one and the same.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's probably the same space. I think I'll do the loop. I'll walk down to the parlor to see if he's there.
Sure.
Because I don't want to waste my time. Yeah.
I think when you walk into the wing, the parlor is there, and then there's like the offshoot hallway where the rooms actually are. So you can find your way to Marius's no problem. You knocking?
Yes, I am being polite. I'm not going to barge into the vampire's room. A, because it's rude. B, because he is probably in some way like got some kind of defenses for when he's asleep, and I don't want to deal with whatever's going to jump at me.
Okay. So yeah, you knock. The door opens. On the other side is God, why am I blanking on your fiance's name?
Edmund.
There it is, yep. The door opens. Edmund is standing on the other side. He blinks a couple of times when he sees you in surprise. And also because you look different.
I'm a human. I'm alive.
Yeah. Which is not a drastic shift for you, but I think that there is more just like life in you. Like your cheeks are redder. You're not as pale and, drawn. He blinks a couple of times and says, Kelly.
Hello.
And from over his shoulder, Marius says, Edmund, there'll be plenty of time for the two of you to catch up later. I'm sure Miss Violet is here on some business that she needs to discuss with me. Why don't you stand aside and let her in? Edmund will open the door the rest of the way and let you into the room. And you step in. And Marius looks at you from across his desk and sort of leans back in his chair, studying you. There's an inscrutable expression on his face. And then when he finally does speak, he says, Edmund, why don't you give us the room? And Edmund looks at him, then looks at you, like sort of looking for any indication of whether it's okay. To leave you alone with Marius.
Yeah. I think Kelly kind of like, as they're standing there, she reaches out and she gives like his arm a squeeze. And she says, it's council business, but when I'm done, I'll come see you.
And Edmund gives you a nod. He puts his hand on top of your hand and steps away. I think, Kelly, to you, Edmund has always felt very warm, just in terms of like body temperature.
Yeah,
now it feels more regular.
Okay, so because I am now also warm, he feels more like a regular human temperature. Because I was going to say, what do I got to roll to make sure everything is still on the level here?
Yeah, it could be that. I'm so sorry. Okay.
You want to try that again?
Why do you pick up the microphone when you're...
Because I want you to know that I'm talking to you.
No, but I thought you were leaving yourself muted as a joke still. So
yes, I was.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. So, yeah.
It's part of the bit.
Okay. Yeah. No, I get it. I love the bit.
Do you want to run that statement again?
I don't even remember what I said anymore, to be honest with you.
It's because you have some bullshit. That's why.
How does Edmund look?
Edmund looks normal, and he feels like touching a normal human being. You just haven't really felt that in a while because you've been dead a little bit.
Yeah.
He puts his hand on top of yours and squeezes it, and then he leaves and closes the door behind him. So, you've been busy. I trust your trip went well.
Was productive, yes.
I would love to hear all about it sometime, but I don't imagine that you're here to bring me up to speed on your recent adventures. I imagine you're here because you need something from me.
I'd like to discuss the possibilities, yes.
Well, I'm ears.
Kelly's gonna sit in front of I am assuming he's got chairs in front of his desk.
Yeah.
And I think she's not going to bring up the obvious I'm not dead anymore thing. So she's going to go straight into there is a possibility of recalling the vote to war again. I'm curious to see if we can maybe revisit your stance on that.
I believe we've already discussed this matter, and I've made my position quite clear. Unless I'm mistaken.
We have, that's why I said revisit.
And do you have something new to tempt me with?
The war is going to be devastating, and it's a lie. It's a trick and it's a lie. And you've been promised to make it to the outcome. But I think if you allow the war to go through the way it's currently going, there's not going to be much left for you to preside over. I think there is still imminent violence, even if we don't go to war. And I think we can still have an outcome where you get what you want. I just don't want that to come at the lives of the people of this kingdom. Because the Dagda and the council want to put the people in the middle of it. So if you tell me what you were promised and what you want, I will make sure you still get it.
We at Barrow, we're promised to supply weapons, armor, munitions, at cost, of course. And then, of course, also, possession of the dead. So I'm very interested to hear how you think you might be able to meet those offers some other way.
Everyone dies eventually. Do they have to die immediately in war for you to have them?
No, but to admit, it is an excellent opportunity. I mean, when you're thirsty, do you want to slowly take sip after sip until your thirst is slaked, or is it more satisfying to drink?
Do you make yourself sick like that?
And yet, it is in our nature to do it anyway.
You'll bloat yourself and you'll breed resentment with the people who do survive outside of Barrow.
I'm not particularly concerned with the common man's opinion of Barrow. We provide necessary service.
You will be when they resent you for taking their loved ones after the war. When they will find a reason and an excuse to resent you for it.
They can resent me all they want. They'll still buy what we're selling.
You think that. You don't know that. You're hoping for that. You're banking on that. Your little inventor doesn't live in Barrow anymore. Just because you're the only person who can make these things now doesn't mean you always will be.
It's an interesting point. Do you want to roll an insight check?
I would love to. I would love to roll insight. I would also love to know where my d20 is in this dice set. That's a d12. Where? All right, I'll use the other d20, but I was looking for... I don't like to roll the same d20 twice in a row, but... Okay, that's a 19, 20, 21, 22.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's high enough. Marius is very good at concealing his expression, but that's a very high roll. So you see that gets his attention. It's an interesting point. So what are you proposing?
I'm proposing that we redo the vote for war and we restipulate exactly how this war is happening, because, like I said, I don't think the Dagda is going to be dealt with without a fight. That's just not possible. But going to war with the Orn is a smokescreen. It's a distraction.
I don't disagree with what you're saying, but I am wondering what you are offering me.
I think you'll still get the dead. You'll just get them spaced out. And over the years, I think you will continue to be the one supplying the country without issue.
So your proposal is that I get the same thing, only slower.
You don't risk bloat. You don't risk aggravating people who might be upset with you and then try to find ways to circumvent you. If you do it long and slow, you get what you want with your long life, and you are at less of a risk of being turned out by the people under you who might get upset with your treatment.
You could be right, but that's all hypothetical. There's nothing substantive. There's nothing concrete.
I could say the same thing about your deal that you already have.
You get a vote.
I get a vote.
The standing deal is that war happens, we provide the munitions, we are paid, compensated for them, and then when people die, which they will, we get their bodies. You're offering me the same thing, but slower, and under the hypothetical possibility that it will breed better public relations. But like I said, you're not offering me anything concrete. Now I could ask you for what I want. But I would need some assurance.
I didn't think that you would have no terms. No additions. It is a negotiation, isn't it?
Indeed. Very well. The first thing that I would want, as you so astutely pointed out, is the head's little builder back.
And how would you keep them?
Well, much more comfortably than the head, I can assure you of that.
And when they wanted time to themselves, they could go and come?
Absolutely. Per contract, of course. But I'm open to negotiating those details. There's another option, but I don't think you'd go for it.
Let's hear it.
You could kill them. Ideally, they would work for me, for Barrow. Continue to produce new items, new designs that we can sell. But barring that, kind of the market flooded.
So, if I could either facilitate a contract for employment or make them go away, you would accept either of those? Because I don't think, after recent developments, I don't think I would need to kill them. I could just send them back.
Back where you come from.
Mhm.
No, I'm afraid not. But you mentioned going away. No, I'm afraid that won't work. But killing them, yes. So long as we end up with their brain. The head, if it's easier. We can handle the extraction.
I'm not taking them apart.
Well, how are you planning to kill them then?
I'm not. But negotiation for terms for employment would be different. You'd have to understand that one of those might very well be that they won't live in Barrow again. But considering you don't live there full-time either, that should not be an issue.
I mean, have invested a great deal in infrastructure and development, but I suppose if they felt like they could adequately meet the responsibilities of their employment from a remote location, could be amenable to discussing those terms.
A work from home situation.
You got something you want to say, Q? You're doing the microphone thing again. Okay. Okay. Of course, I would need assurance before I vote.
If you were to write up a contract, I could send someone with the proposal through the henge.
You have very little time here, Miss Violet. Council meets tomorrow. A vote is tomorrow. Now, if you give me your word, if you're willing to sign a contract stating that I get what I want, one way or another, I'm prepared to take you on good faith.
There's another thing.
Raises an eyebrow.
There will be 2 votes tomorrow. Possible changing of one of the council seats.
I see. And you'd like my support on both of those matters.
I would.
And who might be stepping up to the big leagues?
Now here's the thing. That information would not be able to leave this room, and I would need something from you to ensure that.
Oh, I can keep a secret, Miss Violet.
How much do I actually believe him on that? Because I don't think I do.
I mean, you got a 22 or 23 on your inside check earlier.
22.
So, I mean,
Yeah.
Seems like he's being truthful. Seems like he's being honest. Honestly, there's really not a reason for him to like blow this deal. If you're willing to give him, basically, if you're willing to make the deal and sign, whatever, and assure that he's going to get what he wants, he really has no reason to backstab you.
Raiders here for the drama. Hello.
Yay!
Hello, welcome on in.
Welcome, Raiders.
We're in the middle of super fun D&D negotiations.
It's true. Doing politics. But not. Anyway.
But not. No.
Tired, y'all.
Vampire.
Vampire.
Indeed. Yeah, you can't see any reason for why he would really lie to you.
Okay.
Right. Sorry. Sorry, I love Tales of the Yawning Portal. Goodbye.
Kelly will nod at that, and she's going to say, Ryan Beckinsale.
The prodigal son returns. And I suppose he is as rosy-cheeked as you suddenly find yourself, mysteriously.
That may be the case.
I always liked Ryan. He's a very likable fellow.
He wants what's best for the kingdom. Despite what one Max Miller might say.
Off the top of my head, I can't think of a more qualified member of the council. So, I'm willing to lend you my support on that change. I certainly hope you're not stepping down.
No. No, I'm not going anywhere.
Well then. Do we have a deal? I can have the paperwork drawn up.
What if instead of giving you them, I'm still willing to make the introduction for a legitimate contract of employment that they can say yes or no to. I have no issue there. I have something I could offer you. Though you would have to understand you could not have it until after the war. Whatever the terms may be, as long as the dog is here.
I'm listening.
Kelly's going to show him the seam ripper. I know you're dying to ask, but that, and she taps it, is what did it for me and Ryan. There is a number of other things it could do. I need it for the Dagda. But either when I die or when the war is over. And that agreement I'm willing to sign.
Well, that is quite an offer, Kelly Violet. Yes. My answer is yes.
And Kelly will reach across the desk to shake his hand.
He reaches out, but he pauses and says, after your little war, after you kill the Dagda, or upon your death, ownership of this item transfers to me. I just want to make sure we're clear on the terms.
Provided I have your support in the council in these matters.
Of course.
And you have to understand, in these matters means no matter how many times Nance or Gale or Miskin calls for this to be a vote again, every time where this war is concerned.
Oh, I can assure you, Kelly Violet, I will be as loyal as your little fiance in all matters moving forward. That item, and then your assurance that you will make introductions and facilitate the signing of a contract with your friend. But failing that, I need them taken off the board.
That doesn't mean killing them.
I am willing to meet you halfway.
and Kelly will shake. I'm gonna either have to. You either get a salary and a 5K, or you get to go to Ohio.
Yeah, you shake and you it doesn't feel like anything. I mean, Marius is cold because vampire, but you shake on it and he says, there will be a formal contract, of course. I will need you to sign in blood, standard operating procedure. You familiar?
Yes, I remember, and I will, of course, be rereading it before I sign it to make sure that the wording is agreeable and understandable by both parties.
Of course, and I will need an offer of collateral to ensure the veracity of the contract. Which, fortunately for you, you now find yourself in possession once again of our standard contract collateral. Your soul.
Mm.
If all that is agreeable, then I'll have Edmund deliver it to you as soon as it is done.
It has to be tonight. Tomorrow morning is too late.
Oh, I'm aware of our timeline.
Deal.
Excellent. Pleasure doing business with you as always. One last question before you go. Kelly. How does it feel?
After 3 years of trying to be warm. It's nice. If you want to feel it again. I know how to do it now.
I'm afraid that my business is not yet complete. But I admire your dedication to this cause so much so that you'd be willing to lose it again, potentially. Tells me a great deal about your character.
Kelly's gonna go.
Yeah.
Kelly's like, all right,
Absolutely.
talk to you later. See you tomorrow. You also have to write up your contract for Other Hunter. You gotta give him. Other Hunter needs a health plan, a 401k, a salary.
Sure. Yeah, of course. Perfect. All right, cool. Yeah, you leave Marius's office and the chambers of the Barrow contingent, the undead. And I think with that we will cut away because night has fallen to where Hunter and Kira were keeping an eye out at Mance Ardane's estate. Kira and Hunter, you have been just watching, I suppose, to see if anything is anything unusual is happening. And there haven't been any more deliveries, mercifully, throughout the day. So,
Yeah. Okay. So, fun story.
Yeah.
Fun story. I recall us leaving on a particular point
We sure did.
Last time, do you remember? Because I remember.
I do as well. And
I vaguely
and,
remember something about seeing worms and
Yeah.
the like
No,
churning of the earth
jumping
under your feet.
down.
Jumping
Yeah.
down.
Jumping
Mhm.
down
Into
into the
worms.
dirt, and that's
Into
where they
the
found
dirt,
the
and
worms.
then there
Correct.
were worms
Yes,
there.
correct. There were worms in the dirt. That hardly seems suspicious, but go off.
Okay, well,
Okay, but that was-
what about that
Well,
figure? Yeah.
Why did we jump down, Will?
Uh-huh.
Why did we jump down, Will?
You were on a wall, so you had to jump
Why
down to
did-
get to the
But what? Okay, but we weren't done. It's still not morning.
right.
Why did we jump down, Will?
I mean, I
For
can't
those
answer that.
playing
You
at
told me.
playing at home, we were peeping the manse. The man's
peeping.
man's. You're welcome. And there was a figure that was just walking through the halls, and then it stopped and looked at us.
Correct.
Correctly.
Right. And then spoke to us from all the way inside the mansion. And I'm going to paraphrase, but it basically said, I see your bitch ass.
I remember it exactly like that. Correct.
Thank you. I'm so glad. I'm so glad that
I think
we're
that's
all
what
here.
it said. I think that's exactly what it said. And then you jumped down, and then there were worms in the dirt.
Right. Okay. So you're saying that like it's fully fine and normal, and that's, hey, Will, it's not.
Okay.
Hey, Q, you forgot one important thing. You forgot the moon and what the moon was doing or not doing.
Oh, right.
Don't
So
forget the moon. Don't forget the moon.
fully out, but it's not touching the man's.
Mm-hmm.
The Mansian? Yeah.
The man squared.
Yeah.
Chateau de Mance.
That's true. That is these are all true things that you're saying to me. And I guess my question would be, what are you doing now?
We're leaving.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, we have to go because what is that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like Kira doesn't know the specific like significance of, hey, there's worms, but
That's true.
he does know, hey, I don't like that shit.
I mean, either of you can make investigation checks if you want to.
You know what? Sure. I would
what?
love
Yeah,
to do
I would
a roll
love
about it.
to
I
as
would
well,
love
honestly.
to do a roll about it.
That was an at 20
Nice.
for a 25.
Hell yeah.
26, actually.
Cool. That's only a 12. Perception, I got you all day. Investigation.
Right, I know. Hunter, yeah, you land and there are these like worms sort of churning up the dirt under your feet on the outside of the wall surrounding Mansardane's estate. But as you kind of crouch down and like reach out and touch the dirt, like move it around a little bit, it is dark, but there is moonlight on this side of the fence, and you can see that like the dirt that seems to run like the perimeter. There's just a lot of worms. There's just a lot of them, just sort of wriggling right under that like top layer of dirt, just barely enough to be concealed. But like the second you shift any of it away, there they are.
Hey, Will, just, casual question with a nat 20 and all. I mean, does this remind me of another time that we encountered worms?
Well, that time
is this
the worms,
familiar?
That time the worms were in the shape of a person.
Sure.
And they're not now.
Not in this moment.
But it's weird that there are worms, yeah.
Okay.
This is not normal worm behavior, I would say. Like the only circumstance that you can think of where this many worms would be where they are would be if someone put them there, like painstakingly by hand, and then they like didn't try to go any deeper. Not normal worm behavior.
Which, I do think is exactly what Hunter says to Kira, and makes note of the fact that this is not normal worm behavior. And
yeah. Gathered that. So we're going, right? We're leaving, right?
I mean, we should, but this...
What is but? What do you mean, what is but?
No, you're right. We should go. We should not try to handle this ourselves.
Is that what you were debating?
Well, I don't like the fact that these worms are here and that figure's there and Lindsay's inside.
Okay, and how would you... Okay, so, all right. So I know you weren't, like, right up on it because you were with Max. Do you remember what we told you about what happened to me when I tried to... Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I absolutely do, and that is why I was not going to finish that sentence of but then you asked me, so I did.
Right. No, you know what? That's on me. So we should get going. How fast are you?
Not as fast as you, but pretty fast.
Okay.
Actually, Callisto's faster. And Hunter is just going to not touch the dirt that the worms are in, but touch a piece of earth a little bit closer and pull up Callisto from that.
Yeah, you can go, like, it's literally just like a couple steps away from the fence, and then you find non-wormed earth, or at least like a normal number of worms in the earth, yeah, you use your connection to Ak, the spirit of this world, of nature itself, to draw out your Thors, your horse with the tangled mane of vines and roses and thorns. And yeah, you can absolutely ride away on Callisto. You could take Kira with you, but Kira probably doesn't need the...
No, I feel like
the
Kira's
speed.
just like doing a leisurely jog, like
Sonic the Hedgehogging it.
Yeah.
Just side by side. It's just like a full...
Absolutely, yeah.
Shoulder to shoulder.
Right, the mythical creature and then just a guy.
Just
100%.
Mm-hmm.
Through the streets of Calderon, towards Calderon Keep.
Yeah,
where you are waiting, and I think that you probably arrive back at the keep. I'm gonna say right around the time that Max, you are almost sort of like dazedly reaching the top of the steps with Gallows just sort of hanging by your side,
just kind of swinging absentmindedly.
Yeah. I do think that, Max, when you left Peregrine House, even though it was a brief conversation that you had with Simon, it was dark outside. So significantly more time had passed than you expected from that conversation.
Oh, I see.
I hate that. Yeah, I hate that.
gross.
disgusting.
I need to... I think like maybe even at the steps of the keep when I come to from my days of thinking, I'm like, oh wait, shit, it's nighttime. I told Kelly I'd be back before. I should hurry. I should run.
And yeah, I think the two of you see Max.
Max,
Oh,
are you okay?
Are you okay?
yes. There's Kelly's inside. I
Is
have
she in
news.
danger?
Not that I know of.
You have your weapon up.
He just kind of like looks at it kind of shocked and then just puts it back.
What's wrong?
I have news about Mance.
Good.
But I
so
don't
do
think
we. It's
good to talk about here.
No,
So,
certainly not.
no.
No, when we should get Kelly.
Also, I'm
Are
never
you
going...
okay? You ran
No.
here.
Yeah.
No.
That was just a light jog.
Think immediately turns to Hunter. Are you hurt? Are you okay?
Inside.
Yeah, I'm fine. Let's not worry about
Fuss-
that. Let's
Fuss
find
and
Kelly.
worry inside.
Okay. Okay. Kelly was speaking with Mirrodin and making plans. I don't know if Max
What
would say.
What is happening? Go inside. Go inside. The energy is moving.
I'm walking, I'm talking, I'm walking, I'm talking.
I feel like you thought you were walking, but you were still just standing there, just like holding Hunter.
Watching the two of you walk. Yeah.
Incredible. Yeah. You all three step into Calderon Keep and probably head towards your quarters, I would imagine, where you're all staying, since you are trying to find Kelly.
I guess we probably have our own little like parlor, kind of like the Barrow ones do. If all of our quarters are in the same area.
Yes, correct. Yeah, you were in like the other wing of the keep. Yeah. Kelly, just a little while earlier, there was a knock at your door. When you opened it, it was Edmund standing on the other side. He has kind of a concerned expression on his face, but he is holding a like rolled up scroll of parchment in his hands, and he sort of holds it up, raises an eyebrow at you, and says, "What is this?"
It's a agreement, a contract, I believe.
And were you going to tell me about it?
I assumed we would have some kind of a discussion.
Do you not trust me anymore?
I do trust you, but I can't have a conversation with you about something that I don't know the outcome of. I can't talk to you about what Marius and I agreed to until Marius and I agreed.
No, but Kelly, you didn't talk to me about going to Wiltford either. You didn't talk to me about...
I wrote letters. You weren't here.
You didn't
I couldn't.
talk to me.
Edmund, I am not keeping anything from you. I wrote you the letters. I told you what I'm doing. Just like you would do, just like you did do anything you had to do in Barrow to keep people safe and to get out from the situation you were under. I have to do those same things out here for the other people in this kingdom. That doesn't mean I don't trust you or value what you have to say, but I cannot wait on some of these decisions I have to make. And I won't let you make me feel bad about the fact that I can't wait. But that has nothing to do with trust.
I'm not trying to make you feel bad. I'd never try to make you feel bad. I just... Things were simpler, I suppose, in Barrow. These days, it feels like we're on different sides, almost.
Well, once that contract is signed, as far as that feeling goes, technically that's not the case.
Are you going to sign it?
I'm going to read it first and make sure it's what I agreed to, but yes. I'm going to sign it if it is.
What if you can't give him what he wants?
Then he gets his collateral. I would rather him have his collateral than let this war go through the way it's going.
Do you know what he could do with that? If you give him your soul. I mean, it was one thing when you didn't have it because it was lost. But if he has it, I mean, he could make you do whatever he wants.
It's a risk. It's a gamble. It's not something I'm banking on. It's not my get out of my contract free card. I know what I'm agreeing to, Edmund. And I don't want this country at war with its neighbors. I don't want people to die because outside forces get to influence the council. I don't want anything to happen to Robin. I don't want anything to happen to you. And I don't want anything to happen to any of my friends. And war kills people. Even people who aren't fighting. So, I understand the risk, Edmund. I'm not just throwing this away.
Ever the hero, Kelly Violet.
Ever so it seems.
He kind of holds out the contract to you. Hands you the pen that you've used in the past with Marius, the one that like kind of makes the prickling sensation.
Yeah.
And then, the blood ink. Yeah. For you to sign.
Yep.
And you read it over, and it seems to lay out and say all the things that Marius told you that it would. Actually seems surprisingly straightforward. And there's a little spot at the bottom for you to sign your name.
Yeah, as long as everything is up on the up and up, part of me wants to roll an Arcana or an Insight just to make sure this thing is legit.
Sure, yeah, let's do that. Let's do that so that you feel secure here.
Yeah, which would be better, Arcana or Insight? Or investigation?
Let's call it Insight.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Insight makes sense.
That is going to be 15.
All right, yeah, 15. With a 15, everything seems to be laid out pretty much exactly how you said that it would be. All the terms, basically, that you upon the completion of the war, upon the death of the Dagda, or your demise, ownership of Seam Ripper passes to him. And in addition, that you are going to facilitate the signing of a contract, which is included. Edmund has that with him as well, for other hunter.
My twin.
Yep. And upon if they choose not to sign it, if there is no contract that can be reached, then you have to take them off the board. Through one, basically what it says is like through whatever means seem most fitting to you, they cannot continue to exist in Anun. And if you fail to live up to any of those agreements, you forfeit your mortal soul.
Sounds good. Gonna get that written out. Signed off.
Kira, Hunter, Max, you reach the door of Kelly Violet's quarters.
I hate this.
You see Edmund standing there, and you see Kelly standing up from a signed contract on her desk. The blood's still drying on the page.
Max knows what this is. So he's just like, he doesn't nod or do anything, but I think he keeps his eyes on Kelly.
So you've been busy, it seems.
Yes. I am hoping that Ryan will be able to be extra convincing tomorrow during his speech as far as Gale and Miskin are concerned. But even if he's not, we have the 4-3.
So he's going to be the king?
He is going to be taking Mirrodin's spot on the council. We've talked it over.
I see.
King is a harder thing to swallow.
Right.
For Ryan as well as the other members of the council.
Right.
The councilman with votes. It's a compromise.
And we have the votes.
Myself, Tamberly, Marius, and Ryan, once he has the seat.
Good job, Kelly.
Who is this?
Is that to Edmund?
Have you never met?
No.
You never met Edmund?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry, Kira. This is my fiance. This is Edmund. This is.
You have a fiance. Hi, I'm Kira.
I could have sworn you two met.
No.
It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Edmund.
Likewise. Ooh, offer the hand. Right hand normal. Yes. Yes. I had to think about it. I was like, which one is it?
Kelly's had a lot on her plate. So
inside.
Yeah, go for it.
To be fair, I think the last time, I think you were in Barrow until recently. You did go back.
27.
Also, wait, since we're rolling insight, can I roll an insight on Kelly? I don't think Max has stopped looking at her.
Sure. So 27 first on Edmund. His feelings are hurt, but you get the impression his feelings were already hurt, and this just kind of made things a little bit worse. The fact that she hadn't even mentioned him to you.
Yeah.
But
we were dealing with other family crises.
It's so true. It's so true,
absolutely. He's just a little hurt. His feelings are a little hurt.
It's good.
He should read all of the fucking letters that I have said every time we've been at the keep I've left for him. He should go read his pile of fucking mail.
Assuming he got them. He
Don't.
is
Don't. I'm gonna be so for real right now. Don't.
That's so fair. He is going to like you study him, and he's going to clear his throat, and he's going to reach past you, Kelly, and roll up the contract and leave the one for other Hunter there, and he's going to say, I should get this back to Marius before tomorrow, as soon as possible, so that you can make your deal.
Thank you.
Of course. Sure you have a lot to talk about, so I'll leave you. And he takes the scroll and leaves the room. Max, you wanted to make an inside check on Kelly.
Yes. Max, as soon as Max saw Kelly, it's been like eyes on. Like, I know you made a deal with Marius. How are you doing, baby girl? I rolled a 14.
I mean, Kelly, if you're trying to hide it, you could roll a deception check, but if you're not, then that seems probably high enough for Max to get a sense for your emotional state.
I don't think Kelly is. Kelly basically told Max up front, I'm going to go make a deal, and short of killing somebody, I will make the deal. And Kelly has an agreement now where she doesn't have to kill anybody. So, well,
so then how's Kelly feeling? You can tell. Max.
I think it is very clear that whatever went on between her and Edmund kind of has her a little bit distressed. But as a whole, the contract itself does not seem to be. The deal doesn't seem to be the issue. When she was talking about the fact that we have the votes for Ryan and to at least, if not stop the war, at least alter how the war is conducted, that she is confident on.
Okay. In that case, Max just like nods to himself and almost like kind of nods to Kelly, whether she's looking or not, and walks into the room. And I think just like pats Kelly on the shoulder as he passes by.
Hero's gonna walk in, take a seat somewhere, probably like lean on the desk.
And Hunter will walk in as well. They've just been studying both Max and Kelly just because Max seems a little off and Kelly
Do you
is
want to make an
clearly
insight check on Max, Hunter?
We just be insight checking each other.
I mean, it's about damn time, honestly.
So that is a 5.
Oh,
Okay, cool.
wow!
I mean, I don't know that Max is hard to read, but Max, are you trying to hide how you're feeling from Hunter?
No, I don't think Max is trying to hide how he's feeling at all. I think he.
Okay. So then, tell Hunter what vibes Max is putting off.
Max is putting off. It like now that he has Kelly's reassurance of things are going to be okay. We got the votes. And also, Ryan's not going to be king. Are you kidding me? Hell
That is
yeah!
true. Ryan is now a council member, not a king. That is good news for Max.
I think that you see a face of relief and determination to kind of, okay, let's like make this happen. But I think, and I don't know if you see this with the 5, that's up to whoever, but I think like his jaw is tight, like his jaw is clenched, and he put Gallows away, but I think you would notice that he never let go. He still has like a clenched hand on it.
Then I think if Hunter is noticing that, like their eyes go to where your hand is resting on Gallows, and they ask, Max, did something happen? Has there been a threat against you or Kelly?
If the door's closed, yeah. I have some updates on Mance Ardain. Our theories of him being a lackey of the Dreamer, it's true.
That would explain the worms.
Worms?
There
Yes.
were worms around the perimeter
of the mats.
What was there? Were there any of the creatures or just the worms?
Just the worms.
Like worms in the ground?
Well, outside there were just the worms, and Hunter's going to look to Kira.
There's something in the keep that saw us.
Saw you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Where? I thought you were just by the wall.
We were. And it looked right at us and spoke to us, which is why we left and then found the worms.
Mance is not a worm creature. He is something else.
So he could be working with one of those worms. What was she called? She had a name. Will, when we fought her.
I mean, she did have a name. Like her actual name, you mean? Or like the type of creature that she was?
The type of creature she was, at least.
I'm not sure she did have a name.
She had something, because... Let me see if I can...
Well, there is a stat block that I have adapted, but it's not what she would actually be called.
No, but the huntsman called her a something.
Okay. I do not remember what that was, but yeah, if you have it in your notes.
Yeah, we'll see.
Julia has it in their notes.
I mean, yes, but like...
I have it. It's the question of how easy is it to find.
Yeah, we need some Control F notebooks.
Right. Her name was Raina Peregrine, but
yeah, she was the head of Peregrine's house.
Correct.
Hold on, I am in the fight.
In the arc.
Yeah. Well, I'm here. Right here is where Inuada showed up, said family till we die, and then we wrote down what our initiative was, and then we moved on to the next session.
Family till you die.
How's he doing? Where's he at?
Still in with the dog the last you heard.
Hanging out in the sewers?
No, he's in the city. He's in the city that we very distinctly tried not to go into. Where, yeah.
Threshold.
Yeah.
Threshold.
Yeah, he left Ilsis. He went Or
right, yeah.
Yeah.
Right,
He said
that's
he
why
was
I'm
gonna.
pointing at me.
He was called away by his
Oh,
siblings to go
right.
home to
Yes,
Ilsis.
that's right. That's right.
He did go there.
I think
Okay.
there's also a hesitation for a moment.
Okay, no, he just called her. He just said that. Sorry, he just said that
Okay.
she smelled
What
of
is
the
her name?
dreamer and was like a herald.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
He was like a messenger or a
interesting.
herald.
Okay, that is relevant. I think there is like, again, that hesitation. Still hasn't let go of Gallows. And says he works with the dreamer or for the dreamer. He's not one of those worm monsters. He is also expendable.
To the dreamer.
Yes.
Max, how do you know that?
I went to Peregrine House. Did I not tell everyone about Peregrine House? I have told people about Peregrine House.
I think collectively we have been to Peregrine House because we.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I went to Peregrine House to speak with Simon, or an essence of him. I don't know. He was made
Simon's
of sand.
voicemail.
You went to go speak to Simon.
I asked him to.
He's our connection to the dreamer. And he seems open to answering my questions. And I think Max looks at Hunter and says he didn't ask for anything in return. He has requests, but not demands.
To be clear, when you say Simon,
Mm-hmm.
you mean the Simon that captured me? That Simon?
He doesn't have a great reputation.
That's an understatement.
So the answer to my question is yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Great.
You said that he didn't have demands, but he had requests. What did he ask of you, Max?
Well, he said that the war for the dreamer, it doesn't really matter anymore. And that the wheels are already in motion. And that at the end of all things, he's going to outstretch his hand. But I don't plan on taking it. He said there's the time from now to the end, I guess. He said it's up to us, but didn't really explain what that meant. So
why don't the rest of you roll perception checks?
Sure.
Wait, what?
Yeah, that seems fine.
Sure.
What is there to perceive?
Other than my bulging muscles.
26.
19.
Wait, do I not get to roll a perception check?
No.
Cruel.
26.
Oh, damn.
Cousins.
Kind of makes sense that Hunter, you wouldn't notice because you're distracted listening to what Max is saying and looking at Max. But Kira and Kelly, as you're listening to Max talk, give explanations and say what Simon wants. And actually, Simon doesn't want anything. Simon just made this offer, but Max isn't going to take him up on it. The two of you, your eyes are drawn to Max Miller's pocket
Damn it.
as just a thin, small stream of sand falls out, just sort of collecting into a small pile
Can I try and catch it?
by his foot. Yeah, I think so. You can reach out and just sort of catch it in your hand. And that motion, it would definitely be enough that Hunter, your eyes would be drawn to it, and Max, your eyes would be drawn to it. To the pile of sand that's in the palm of Kira's hand.
It's a spoon.
And
You silver hand.
Right.
Did you have a bucket?
It's like a little incense bowl.
Yeah.
and there's a moment of silence as all four of you just stand there looking at it. And I think that is where we're going to end this episode of Class
God damn
Reunion.
it. God damn it. God damn it. God damn it.
Oh boy, we're back.
We're so back.
We're so back.
We're so back.
We're so back this time.
I need a massage.
Oh yeah?
Why? What are you upset about?
I'm fucking tense.
I got some shit to say to you, fam.
Yeah.
To me or to Will?
Yeah, to who?
Yes. Yes.
You've been saying
Wait.
shit this whole time.
Yes.
Listen.
Yes. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
It's not
Listen.
my fault that Will puts y'all in situations that make you turn on me.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
That is one way to read the situation.
Can I catch a bit of it?
Sure.
Can I take a bit of the sand?
Yeah.
Can I take
Mix,
can I
let
take
me reach
this
out and take a
thing?
handful of the sand.
Yeah, can I take a handful of the thing that drove people insane into my pocket? Can I take a handful of the thing that caused Iwata to
But
come
we
sniffing around like a
can't.
bloodhound?
You know what? I don't need to explain myself.
I
You'll
mean,
see.
next episode you might, but
You will.
You can think about it for
understand.
2 weeks to how you're going to explain
Yeah.
yourself.
I know what I'm going to say.
all right.
I'm
Well, we
innocent.
it's been a while since we were able to
Innocent,
play.
but
We went a little
silly.
long, but we'll go ahead and do outros and stuff now. So thanks so much for joining us, everybody. Starting off, JD, where can people find you? What do you have going on?
Yes. Hi, I am JD. I have been Hunter today. You can find me on Blue Sky and pretty much Blue Sky only at JD, not Jason Dean. And when I'm not here with Class Reunion, you can also find me in Never Ember's Enigma with LFTA, which is our D&D heist game where I play just a little changeling rogue / something else, find out an RP who has done nothing wrong ever in their life. You can also find me here in Academy H, our Masks Actual Play podcast, where I play Casimir Bright, who also has done nothing wrong ever in his life, aside from, murdering accidentally a hospital full of people. It's fine. Don't worry about it. And then the only thing I have to plug other than that is I will be over with the Bardic Inspiration Network starting this coming Wednesday in a cyberpunk game. where I will be playing a rocker boy who is a little bit different than some of my other characters. He has no qualms with blood and violence. Most of my other characters do at least have some morals, even if they might do immoral things. And then I have another project that I can't announce quite yet, but I will be announcing that in the coming weeks. That's all for me.
Hell yeah. Raph?
Hello, I'm Innocent. And I
Absolutely not.
It's Pride Month, y'all. You can't get mad at Max Miller. Okay, it's not legal. You legally can't. Anyway, hello. I played Max Miller today. I'm Raph. That's it. No, wait. Something else is happening. I don't know. I don't think it's been announced yet. As far as I'm aware. But yeah, we'll wait for that, and then I'll be back here. And I think that's it.
Beautiful and cryptic.
I was trying to check, but I did not have enough time. Julia.
I didn't see anything, so I wasn't 100%.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Julia. Today I've been Kelly Violet. Every other Sunday, I am usually here playing Lyra Kroll with Academy H. Although the next time you see us playing Academy H, we will be on our special side quest villain bullshit. Everything I'm doing is just a quest to get to the rusty knife. That's all I want. You'll have to come see what that means. Every other Wednesday, I am First Officer Nyko Bard with our Star Trek Gallant game, escaped gay baby jail, and stopped a coup. Good job. Every other Thursday, I am here as with Never Ember's Enigma as Lavinia Hale. Remember, ACAB does include Lavinia Hale, especially right now. And then I think starting not next Tuesday, but the Tuesday after is Sayer House.
Yes, not this coming week, but the following week.
Yes, and then every other Tuesday in a weird turn of events, I am now JD. I will be here every other Tuesday, playing in Sayer House 6, which is Monster of the Week, and you're just gonna have to show up and see who I am in that game. And that's it. That's everything. Goodbye.
Yeah. Q.
Oh God, I'm fine. Hello, hi, I'm Q. Everyone's favorite neighborhood cowboy maker. I'm gonna find the actual words for what I want to say when I'm doing that. Anyway, not the point. Hi. Anyway, I was playing Kira today, who's just very grumpy. He's a very grumpy man right now, which is fun. Actually, she's been kind of grumpy for a little while. It's fine. Anyway, when you can't find me here, you can find me out on the internet at Midnight Inc. That's Midnight, no more underscore. I am Q. Q is my name. I'm sure you get it. Save a horse, ride a cowboy. I'm still making cowboys. Speaking of which, starting June 29th, that's on a Sunday, you can find me over at Tales from the Table Studios, where we are going to be playing Sundered Skies, which is a Fabula Ultima campaign. I'm playing, he's a Doc Sunny Valentine. He's going to be a good time. I can't wait for you all to meet him. Truly, he's one of my favorites. Tuesday, this Tuesday, hopefully, we will be here again for Nephilim Tenebris, where I'm playing Captain Omari Lita, who has been through it, y'all. He's been fucking through it, but he's alive and mad about it. No, I'm kidding. And then there's other stuff and also things. I can't talk about a whole lot of it, but we out here. Come see your boy.
Yeah. And hello, hi, my name is Will. I was your storyteller this evening. I played everybody else, and yeah, I can also be found over on Blue Sky at a Will M Scream, and yeah, true enough. This coming Tuesday, I didn't get my phone out. I was like, I should get my phone out so that I can talk about stuff. And then I did not. Yeah, Tuesday, Nephilim Tenebris. I will be here running that. At 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then Thursday, there will not be God Complex over at Entropy Emporium because it is Juneteenth. So please celebrate in whatever manner feels.
I'm going to be
best.
doing a Juneteenth thing. I'm so sorry.
Oh, you want to talk about that?
It's sort of where we just put it together. I'm going to be over on Chaotic Wholesome with the Candace the Magnificent doing some Juneteenth shit. We're going to be at college, I think. So just go over there, see what we getting up to. Sorry, that's it. Well.
All right. Well, we yeah. So God Complex is taking Juneteenth off, so that people can go places and do things. But Sayer House 6 Monster of the Week game about a group of foster kids who grew up in the same fucked up household will be happening. I hope so. And then that is everything the immediate future that I need to plug. So yeah, that's pretty much it for us. If you're not already following us, oh no, I'm gonna sneeze.
Bless you.
Allergies have been real bad today. If you're not already following us on socials, there is one that we use now because the rest are fascist. And then there is Discord, which is a great place full of great people. We'd love to have you be a part of it. It's not fascist yet, and so please join us there if you are so inclined. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Wherever you are out there in the world, call your representatives, find a protest, do something. It's bad, y'all. It's real fucking bad. We got to stick together right now, and we got to do things together. Yeah. Anyway, that is going to do it for us. I don't see anyone that we can raid at this hour on this day. So I think we are just going to go ahead and call it. But from all of us here at Live from the Apocalypse, thanks so much for joining us. Take care of yourselves out there. It's rough.
We love you.
We do love you. Say good afternoon, everybody.